Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin Clark.
Everything we thought we knew about professional sports hierarchy is about to be rewritten. For months, the narrative focused on disrespect, hard fouls, and the petty jealousy aimed at Caitlin Clark. But while WNBA veterans tried to haze the rookie, the biggest bank account in the world was watching. This isn't about a shoe deal or a contract extension. It's about a rumored $1 billion disruption that Stephen A. Smith just confirmed live on air. The rumors are no longer whispers in dark corners of the internet. Reports suggest the Saudi Public Investment Fund is preparing a hostile takeover of women's basketball, with their primary targets being Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Pairing the greatest shooter of a generation with one of the league's most marketable stars creates a breakaway dynamic the WNBA simply cannot counter. Smith warned the league, if they don't protect their golden goose, someone else will buy the entire farm. And now it looks like the check has cleared. To understand why this is terrifying for the WNBA, look at the messenger. Stephen A. Smith has been the loudest critic of how Caitlin Clark has been mishandled. While other analysts pretended hard fouls and mean girl energy were just competitive spirit, SAS called it what it was: jealousy. On national television, he screamed that the WNBA was fumbling the league's greatest gift. He highlighted Clark flying commercial, getting shoulder-checked by Kennedy Carter, and being left off the Olympic team. His latest comments, however, shift from criticism to dire warning. Smith confirmed the market always corrects itself. You cannot suppress a superstar earning $76,000 a year when her market value is in the hundreds of millions. The old guard thought they could force Clark to wait her turn, but they forgot that player leverage now dominates. Smith's validation proves loyalty ends where disrespect begins. Essentially, he's saying, I told you so. The league treated her like an enemy, so now she could become competition. Let's look at the numbers. Clark's rookie deal was a 4-year contract worth $338,000, about $76,000 her first year. Weekly NBA benchwarmers earn more than that. The WNBA has claimed 27 years of financial losses, but Clark fixed that in 3 months. Attendance surged, jersey sales skyrocketed, and TV ratings smashed decades-old records. She generates millions, yet her salary barely covers living costs in a major city. That's why the Saudi rumor is impossible to ignore. The PF deals in billions, not thousands. They see Clark not as a rookie, but a global icon undervalued by 99%. If a $1 billion investment into a new league or tournament is true, Clark wouldn't just get a salary, she'd get an empire. Compared to the WNBA's $76,000, the decision is obvious. This isn't only about one player getting rich, it's a calculated geopolitical move. Look at LIV Golf. The PGA Tour controlled players, money, and schedules for decades, until the Saudis stepped in. They didn't negotiate, they bought the players, offering Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, and others hundreds of millions just to show up. The media called it sports washing, criticized greed, yet the players took the money, forcing the PGA to eventually cave and merge. Insiders believe the same strategy is now targeting women's basketball. The WNBA is vulnerable: underpaid stars, poor travel conditions, mounting dissatisfaction. By targeting Clark, the Saudis aim at the engine of the sport. Without her, the WNBA fades. With her, a new Saudi league could dominate globally overnight. But no league survives on one player alone. You need rivalry, supporting stars, and marketability. This is where the rumors about Sophie Cunningham become crucial. Why her? Why not Aya Wilson or Brianna Stewart? The answer is simple and brutally honest: marketability and demographics. Sophie Cunningham has built a massive following not just for her gritty play, but for her brand. She is instantly recognizable. She understands the social media game. She has that it factor advertisers crave. There's a reason cameras consistently find her on the sidelines. The speculation is that this new league wants a dream team of marketable stars who appeal globally. Pairing Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham covers all bases. You get the generational talent of Clark and the charismatic, tough-as-nails enforcer in Cunningham. Together, they are the perfect faces to launch a new franchise and brand. Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly referenced this marketing machine. Sports is a business. You need stars who sell tickets. Clark and Cunningham sell tickets. We also need to discuss why Clark would even consider leaving the league she dreamed of playing in. If the WNBA had welcomed her fully, this $1 billion offer might be easier to ignore. But it didn't happen that way. From the moment she stepped on the court, it was open season. We saw Diana Taurasi go on ESPN during the Final Four and warn Clark that reality was coming. It felt bitter. It felt like the old guard feared the new blood. Then came came the games. Clark was picked up full court, hammered in the paint, and knocked down while referees swallowed their whistles. The Kennedy Carter hip check? Around the world wasn't basketball, it was a message. Stephen A. Smith exploded after that play. He asked where the teammates were. He demanded why the league wasn't protecting its star. The message became clear. WNBA veterans weren't passing the torch. They wanted to extinguish it. This hostility makes an exit strategy attractive. Why stay in a workplace where coworkers resent your success when you could go elsewhere, be treated like royalty, and make 50 times the money? But this isn't the first time Clark was courted away. Remember the big three? Ice Cube publicly offered Caitlin Clark $5 million to play just 8 games in his league, more than she would earn in her entire WNBA career. At the time, she said no. She wanted to prove herself in the WNBA, chase championships. But that was before the hazing, before the media circus, before the lack of protection. Now, the landscape has shifted. The rumored Saudi offer reportedly dwarfs Ice Cube's deal. The difference is infrastructure. The Saudi proposal isn't a side project, it's a full league replacement. It promises a global tour, likely fewer games, luxury travel, and no salary cap. It addresses every complaint players have had for years. Ice Cube showed the market existed. The Saudis proved they have the capital to make it permanent.